And action.
Mike!
Say something.
Mike!
Can I just go from now?
Sure. Try it.
Just start.
Just start. What are you doing?
Yeah, it's going.
Okay, it's
Ready?
going.
I can't look at Josh without laughing.
It's
He
going.
knows that.
Hello, my name is Mike Garlock,
And I'm Josh Alstrom.
and we are Wyakin Warriors. We would like to welcome you to our first virtual Guardian Ball of 2020.
Wyakin supports us in every aspect of our life, from school to work and to our family and personal life. And without your support, they aren't able to do that. So we wanted to say thank you all for everything that you do for us as well. Throughout the event, you will be able to hear the stories of other warriors like us that are in the program and see how Wyakin is impacting their life. So once again, thank you very much for everything that you have done, and we hope that you all enjoy the evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Wyakin's first ever virtual Guardian Ball. My name is Jenna McCulloch, and I am the Director of Community Engagement at the Wyakin Foundation. And beside me is Brent Taylor, Wyakin's CEO and President. We are so excited to be here.
We are excited, and thank you all for being with us. You know, Jenna, I'm told that there are millions of people tuned in worldwide to watch this. And we want to let all of you know that we're going to spend the next 40 minutes or so trying to give you a time that's fun, informative, and hopefully give you a reason to join our efforts. And this is our first time doing this, so if we make a few mistakes along the way, let's just roll with it. But for now, let's start the way we always start the Guardian Ball, with the singing of our national anthem by someone that I think you'll recognize.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Wow, that was quite the rendition.
It was amazing. I can't believe that's the first time you've ever sang.
It was.
Okay, so folks, before we get started, a quick housekeeping item here. If you want to be able to follow along with the auction while you're watching the live event, there's two ways you can do that. You can either open a second tab in your browser, or you can text the word Wyakin, that's W-Y-A-K-I-N, to 22454. And if you have any problems at all throughout the event, any technical issues, you can call the number you see on the screen, and our technical experts are standing by to help get you connected.
All right, we want to take this time to thank our presenting sponsor, Citi. They have been a part of Wyakin since the beginning, and we cannot thank them enough for their support. To find out more about their commitment to our veterans, you can see on the information tab on the auction site all the things that they do at their company. We'd also like to take this time to thank our platinum sponsor, the Boeing Company. We are so grateful for your support.
That's right. We'd also like to thank our gold level sponsors, Millington and Company, Icon Credit Union, Washington Trust Bank, Idaho Power, and Heart and Home Hospice, as well as thanking all of our board members, former Governor Butch Otter, Jeff Bacon, Senator Chuck Winder, Jennifer Neal, Alexander Crown, Jim Hovren, and Phil Rieberger. And lastly, we would like to especially thank all of the Wyakin Warriors and alums, because it's their hard work and determination that make our work meaningful.
Well, before we get these auction items started, we felt like the best way to start this was to hear from the talented, the humble, the incredible Mr. Brent Taylor, our CEO.
Well, thank you, Jenna. That's a lot to live up to, but I'll do my best. And folks, I'm going to level with you right off the bat here. This is all a little bit weird. Normally I'd be up on stage, roaming around, speaking to you live, and instead I have to stare at this camera, and you can hear a pin drop in the studio right now, and I may or may not be a little freaked out. So just bear with me and let's roll with it, because after all, isn't this sort of the year of awkward? So, you know, if you were at the Guardian Ball last year and you were listening when I spoke, which I know is a lot to ask, you heard me speak about the incredible growth and success that Wyakin has experienced in the last few years, and how our greatest challenge in 2020 was going to be how to top that success. Well, I'm here to tell you I was wrong. Like super, super wrong. Like if there was a chart for wrongness, I was way off it, okay? Because 2020 obviously had much bigger challenges in store for us, and I think you probably all know what I'm talking about. You see, the awkwardness didn't spare Wyakin, and it didn't spare our Warriors. We had to change virtually everything we do at a time when our Warriors needed us more than ever. But we decided as a team that the way we were going to continue to thrive and beat this thing is to focus not on all the uncertainty, but on those things of which we could be most certain. And one of those things is that at the Wyakin Foundation, we're not defined by some narrative you'll find in a brochure or a website. We're not defined by some sort of system or process that leads to a result. We're a family, and we're defined by the way we treat each other as human beings, especially in a time of need. You know, one of our warriors was in my office back in the spring when things were first starting to take a turn, you know, for the worse. And he was really having a hard time, and I asked him, what can we do for you? And he told me, just be here. Just keep the doors open and be here because I need you. And that was a great illustration for me that that's the most powerful thing we can do, is to be here for our warriors. So even when we couldn't do anything the way we normally do it, we could be here for our warriors. We could reach out to every one of them. We could ask them, are you struggling with isolation? Are your relationships suffering? Are you under financial strain? Is your academic success compromised? Are you stressed about homeschooling your kids? And for many of our warriors, it was all those things. But we could still be here for our warriors and simply ask, what do you need? And how can we make your life better today? Because you see, folks, it's that human connection that is the most powerful tool that any of us have to help another person. And no pandemic can take that away from us. And so we called and we Zoomed and we emailed and we texted and we did all those other things to make sure we stayed in front of every warrior and we let them know that we're here and that we care. Because that's what we're about. And it's not just what we're about during a pandemic. It's what we're about all the time. It's what we've always been about, and it's what we'll be about in the future. And the future is why we're here tonight, and the future is where you come in, because you see, your support is another one of those things of which we must be certain if we're going to continue to thrive. Because the awkwardness hasn't spared our pocketbook either. I'd be lying if I said it had been a good year for fundraising, or even if I said it's been an adequate year. It's been a struggle. There's 3 months left in this year, and we have a lot of ground to cover because, folks, we have veterans waiting to enter our program next year, and it's our belief that no one that comes to us for help should ever be turned away. So there's a lot of ways you can help. We have a fantastic auction that we're going to talk about, and you can get in on that action. If you're not into more stuff, there's a Fund a Need option on there where you can just make a gift to support our warriors. If it's easier, you can donate over our website, you can mail us a check, or you can stop in the office and see us. Because you see, it's not how you give that matters, it's if you give that matters more than ever before. Our warriors need to know that although the rules have changed, our commitment hasn't. And although it's a different world, we're the same people and we're still here. This is a time when none of us can afford to leave it to the next person. This is going to take all of us. So in a year when we all need to stand up for each other, we hope that tonight you'll stand up for our warriors. Now let's hear a message from a couple of those warriors, Tori and Hunter, talking about how the personalized nature of the Wyakin program has changed their lives.
My name's Tori. I met Hunter, it's really the minute I entered the Navy. We were We were together for like 5 years, and then when we were getting out, we were like, let's get married now that we have some time. We're not deploying, and we're about to get out. And we got married, applied to Boise State, and now here we are.
And then our lovely friend, other Wyakin warrior, Ryan Callahan, told us about this program.
What I enjoy about it is I like that now I can work the job that I want to work at, like that will help me with my career moving forward.
That's what the stipend did for us, is it gave us an opportunity where we could focus heavily on school and work less. Knowing that, like, you know, I'm part of a professional group of people who are professionally trying to improve their lives gives me a sense of purpose and gives me a direction. And I know that I need to go to school and I need to execute and I need to do things that I do because Wyakin does all the things that they do for me. Now I know, like, okay, like, you know, I have a family essentially, you know, that helps me with school, which is pretty sweet. So.
And graduating is a little less scary because you're like, I think that there's people who are going to help me get a job.
The piece that I've learned about Wyakin is that it 100% is here for you. It's really hard to find veteran programs that aren't looking for specifically trying to find numbers or like put like a brag sheet or like show like here's all the people that we've helped, right? This is very like one-on-one directed. We'll help you and all we ask is that you help yourself.
Well, thank you, Tori and Hunter, for sharing that message with us. You know, Tori and Hunter both graduate from Boise State in December, and we're so proud of them, so blessed to have them in the Wyakin family. And what I really loved about their message is they talked about how Wyakin sort of takes the mystery out of transition. There are so many questions, it can be so overwhelming. And by helping to illuminate that path forward, we help our veterans get on with their healthy futures even more quickly.
That's right, we do. And we are so lucky, as Brent mentioned, to have them in the program. Before Brent gets started on the auction, I have to shout out to a few people. And one of those people is Danny from Oklahoma City. She's watching on the eve of her birthday. Wow, so honored. Also, I want to shout out to Susan in Boise and Brian in Tallahassee, Florida. Thank you guys for tuning in.
That's great. So Jenna, what do you think about getting this auction started?
I think it's about time.
Okay, but let me ask you a question first.
All right.
All right, you were a kid once, right?
I was.
Can't put anything over on me, folks. And when you were a kid, you probably had a pretty vivid imagination.
I did.
Right? So could you ever have imagined an auction this great?
I'm not sure I knew what an auction was, but I could not have ever imagined something going off without a hitch like this is.
Well, there you have it, folks. An auction so great that it exceeds even the wondrous imagination of a child. So let's get started, and we're going to start with item number 1. And folks, this is the most exclusive thing we've ever offered in an auction. This is a first edition Wyakin sculpture in bronze. I've seen this sculpture up close in person, and it is beautiful. It's such a great representation of the Wyakin spirit and the Wyakin mission. The detail is beautiful, the expressiveness on the warrior's face. You know, this shows a Native American warrior contemplating his future while his Wyakin, in the form of an eagle, watches over him. And it's just such a great statement about what we do, and so beautifully done. I'll talk about the artist for just a bit. Ben Victor is one of our nation's most decorated sculptors. This is not some guy that we found at sculptors.com, folks. This is the real deal. He is the only living sculptor with 3 pieces of art in the U.S. Capitol building, and he is truly one of our nation's great sculptors. But I think the most exciting thing, Jenna, about this is it's a first edition. Okay, so that means this is the first bronze sculpture made from the clay mold that Benjamin made with his own hands. And Jenna, help me out, because I'm not very good with math. In 100 years, how many first editions of this sculpture will there be?
I got this. 1.
There you have it, folks. This will still be the only first edition of this sculpture, and that makes it extremely valuable, and that makes this a fantastic opportunity. Now, this thing would go for over $10,000 easily in a gallery or an art exhibit. Right now, the leading bid is $3,000, so we've got a lot of room to bid this thing up. And folks, if you are a lover of Wyakin, if you're a lover of fine art, if you're a lover of once-in-a-lifetime opportunities, this is an item for you. A beautiful first edition sculpture, item number 1 on the auction board. Check it out. But Jenna,
Yes.
I understand some of our viewers may prefer their auction items to be more furry and alive. Do we have anything for them?
Well, as a matter of fact, we do, and that is auction item number 3, which is a Bernedoodle puppy.
Wow.
Now, a Bernedoodle is a Bernese Mountain Dog and a Standard Poodle. I'm going to tell you a little bit about what makes both of those breeds so great. A Bernese Mountain Dog is calm, cool, and collected. A Standard Poodle is one of the most intelligent breeds, and they're hypoallergenic. So this is actually the perfect puppy you could have. Take this home to your family. You will not be disappointed. And also, I have another fun fact about this item. Again, this is item number 3. Brent, do you think have you ever had to train a puppy?
You know, I have, and I was a complete failure at it, actually.
Okay, well, if you're a failure like Brent, you can get this puppy, and it comes with a training package. So you won't have to worry about the training. You won't be exhausted every night. You'll have someone train the puppy for you. So bid on the item now. This item is at $1,500 right now. Jay Peterson has the highest bid, so bid them out right now to get this puppy.
Okay, and you know, folks, having a puppy can be tiring. And if you're tired and need to get away and you like to do it in style, check out item number 4. This is our Sun Valley Getaway. Right now, it's available for the next bid. It's bid up to $900 right now. And let me tell you, this is first class, folks. So this is 2 nights at the Limelight Hotel. This is $150 to eat at the Warfield. It's 2 all-day lift tickets at Sun Valley Resort and 2 spa days at the Synergy Spa, including massages. So if you like your vacations premium, this is the item for you.
You know, Brent,
Yeah,
I got to tell you something.
you're surprised me
So
there.
I just recently went to Sun Valley last weekend, and I found the Limelight Hotel. You will never guess. It is within walking distance from the Warfield.
Really?
Where could you go wrong? You know, have some food, some drinks, walk on over to stay the night at Limelight. It is a prime time option.
And I'm told you sometimes maybe can run into a celebrity in Sun Valley.
That's
Is that true?
true. There are quite a few. And that would be absolutely incredible, wouldn't it, to see Demi Moore? Bid on this item now.
Okay, folks, that's item number 4. 2 words for you, Sun Valley Getaway.
All right, now we're going to take a break from the auction items, and we are going to hear from Wyakin warrior Ronnie Priel. He's going to talk to us about his relationship with Wyakin's Director of Student and Veteran Affairs, George Nickel.
My name is Ronnie Priel. I'm originally from California. I'm a transplant. I love Idaho. I love the people here. I decided to go to school because I wanted a higher education. You know, no one in my family's ever received a degree, and I felt that it would be a great accomplishment. I love the support that the Wyakin staff gives. They're really a close-knit foundation, and they involve us in everything that goes on in the Wyakin family. I enjoy the camaraderie that I miss from being in the military. A lot of people that have served share a problem with sometimes being able to adjust to civilian life, and we tend to do things that are a risk to our well-being because we're just so used to that type of adrenaline that goes along with being in the service. My relationship with George Nickel is a wonderful relationship. For one, when we met, me and him had a lot in common, quite a bit. I mean, for one, he's in the Army, so we kind of clicked on that. And as far as having some ailments incurred during duty, mental health issues, and PTSD. George, he's helped me quite a bit with understanding, my path that I'd like to take as far as education, higher education. Otherwise, I would have been pretty lost, and I appreciate him for that.
Such a powerful and candid message from Ronnie. I think it's great the way Ronnie spoke about that human connection that he has with George and the Wyakin staff. And as we talked about earlier, that really makes all the difference for some of our warriors. So thank you, Ronnie, for that great message. Jenna, what do you say we get back into the auction?
I say let's go.
Okay, so folks, we talked about Sun Valley, but if you like your getaways a little further off the grid, scroll down and check out item number 7. This is our Deadwood getaway. Now, I've actually been to Deadwood a couple times. I'm not much of a camper, but you know, my boss drags me camping every year, and I can't say no, but fortunately, he drags me to Deadwood. And Tom and Dawn Carter, the proprietors of Deadwood Outfitters, are the real deal, folks. They know the land, they know the history, they know the hunting, they know the fishing. Amazing place to spend a couple of days getting away. So you're going to get 2 nights in one of their rustic cabins. You're going to get a guided trail ride on their beautiful horses with Tom, and he's going to tell you all sorts of stuff about the area. You're going to get guided fishing on Deadwood Reservoir, and I know there's fish in there because I've even caught one, and that's a rare thing. And you're going to get 2 meals a day in the beautiful lodge, and Tom and Dawn put on a good spread. Folks, if you like to unplug, this is an absolutely beautiful opportunity to get away for a couple of days. And if you don't know where Deadwood is, I like to say you go through Cascade, you take a right, and just drive till all your cares fade away.
Wow, that sounds like quite the item.
It does, doesn't
You know,
it?
I actually do recall you coming back from, I think you said a weekend camping, and you would not stop talking about the coffee they served there.
Well, you know, coffee is a priority in my life, Jenna, and you're right. You know, if you are an early riser like me, or you've ever been forced to spend the night in a cabin with Jeff Bacon, you're going to wake up needing some coffee. Now, Tom and Dawn have coffee on the stove at 5 a.m. every morning. You wander up to the lodge. It's cozy, the couches are comfortable, and they will fill your cup until you say stop, which for me is never.
Wow, that is awesome. Folks, we have another incredible auction item for you, and that is item number 2. This is our Heroes Dinner. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for you to have a catered meal with veterans from all different eras. This is going to be at the Idaho Military History Museum. So it just ties it all in. It's going to be an incredible evening. And I will tell you, the 3 years that I've been working at Wyakin, I have heard some absolutely incredible stories from our veterans. So I know that this night will be remarkable for you.
You know, Jenna, that sounds like an opportunity that most people will probably never have.
That's right.
But tonight in our auction, you can have it, folks. And you know, if dining with a warrior sounds appealing to you, scroll down to item number 11. So dining with a warrior is your opportunity to have dinner with one of the Wyakin warriors. This is one of our most popular items in last year's auction, and so we brought it back again this year. And folks, you don't need to get into a bidding war for this item. For anyone who's willing to make a $1,000 gift to the Wyakin Foundation, you're going to get a $100 gift card to a local restaurant. And we're going to pair you and a guest up with one of our warriors and guests to spend an evening sharing a meal, hearing about their journey, and talking about their dreams and where they want to go with their lives. So this item was so popular. You know, our good friends Tom and Mary Glenn bought this last year, and they loved it so much that they've purchased it again this year. Now remember, folks, unlimited availability for a $1,000 gift to the Wyakin Foundation. Enjoy dinner with one of our Wyakin warriors.
All right, so I know that we have so many auction items and so little time, and Brent and I have never done this before, so we would totally butcher it if we kept going. So I'm going to highlight a few more, one of those being a birch barrel grill. Brent,
Yes.
I did see that there was a 60-pound meat package on the auction item that would pair perfectly with the grill.
There is, and what caught my eye about that package was the 6 pounds of hot dogs included.
Yeah, that sounds great. So folks, you can throw a party by getting this grill and pairing it with the 60-pound meat package. It sounds like fun. Also, we have a family fun package, a date night package, and something that's absolutely incredible that I just have to mention, I cannot not mention this, is a baseball card from 1909. Brent?
Yeah.
Now, how old is this card?
111 years old.
111 years old, folks. This is absolutely incredible. Brent,
Yes.
do you know anything about this card?
I know a bunch of things about this card. First of all, I know that the current owner of this card has owned it for 41 years, and he bought it at the Curious Bookshop in East Lansing, Michigan. Did you know how I know that, Jenna?
How on earth would you know that?
Because that 12-year-old kid was me.
Oh, wow. You heard that straight from him, folks. This is Brent Taylor's former card because someone better bid on this.
But you know what else is even way more interesting than that, Jenna?
What?
Christy Mathewson is one of the greatest players in the history of the game, one of the 5 inaugural inductees into the Hall of Fame. When he finished his baseball career in 1918, at the age of 38, he enlisted in the U.S. Army and served in World War I. So he's a veteran too.
Oh, well, that is just perfect.
Amazing,
I love
huh?
it.
Yeah.
We also have something else I need to show you guys real quick, which is the necklace, and you can view this from home. You see that?
Wow.
Isn't that
That
beautiful?
is something.
Okay, you guys, this is a beautiful landscape. I'm going to go ahead and say that it is the Sawtooths. So it's an Idaho gem. Take this home right now for your loved one. It'll be beautiful. I'm not showing it right. So here we are. And you guys, like I said, there are so many auction items and we don't have enough time to go over them all. So at this time, we're going to take a break and we are going to hear from Wyakin warrior Josh Garling. He's going to tell us about how the emergent grant that Wyakin provided him has impacted his life.
My name is Josh Garling. I'm an Army vet. I served 3 years in the military and I have 2 kids. And I'm going to school at Boise State, and I'm pre-med, and I'm trying to get into the DO program or the PA program here in Boise, so I can be close to my kids while I'm going to school. I've always believed in having my own personal emergency fund, but with school and then like that kind of stretches you out financially already, and then COVID and just everything hit kind of all at the same time. And then like going to school, I also have my car that's just like was kind of on its last leg, like most college students, and making it run without payments and just trying to make it by. And yeah, come January, I ran out of funds. I was in between schooling, and it was Christmas, right after Christmas, and it was right before school started. So I was waiting on funds for school and GI Bill, and my car broke down, and you guys came to the rescue essentially and was able to get my car fixed. That money, it's like an emergency grant, like we don't have to pay it back. I didn't feel guilty using it. At the same time, I knew it was there when things went south, like really bad, and I needed to stay in school. So having that emergent fund, I'd say, is one of the most critical things. Been 32, I have my kids, I have a business, I have all these things going into play. I feel like I'm a fairly responsible financial person, but school really stretches you out. It really, like, when I'm studying like 60 hours a week, you don't have time. You don't have time to like set that extra money aside. You're just like trying to make it to the next semester, you know, and so that emergent fund is like critical.
You know, we appreciate Josh so much for sharing that message with us and highlighting the fact that sometimes that financial assistance that we give to our warriors can be the difference between them staying in school and moving forward and having to drop out and put things on hold to deal with an emergency. So we're happy to be able to help Josh and all of our Wyakin warriors that way. And speaking of financial assistance, I'd like to take a moment to recognize 2 of our most loyal and ardent supporters, Colonel and Mrs. Dwayne and Jan Hardesty in Steilacoom, Washington. You know, the Hardestys have been with us for years. Colonel Hardesty was one of the pioneers in the veteran transition field, and he'll be the first to tell you that Wyakin is one of the most effective and comprehensive programs in the nation. But the Hardestys don't just talk about it, they back it up. They have once again this year given a $10,000 gift to the Wyakin Foundation for the Guardian Ball. And this year their gift has come with a challenge. They'd like to challenge any other Wyakin supporters out there who have the means and have it in their heart to make a gift of that magnitude to click on item number 13 on the auction board and match that $10,000 gift. You know, folks, I can't tell you how many lives a gift like that will change. We thank Dwayne and Jan for that gracious gift. And Jenna, I understand we already have an anonymous donor who's matched that $10,000.
Wow, that is incredible.
So we are halfway to our goal for the Hardesty Challenge. So again, item number 13, folks. But if you've got another giving level that's more comfortable for you, Jenna, there's an option for that too, right?
There is, yes. You can go to the button titled Fund a Need, which is item number 12, and you can give any amount that suits you. There's a custom option, or you can give one of the amounts that we've put in. Any amount that you give, I can assure you, we will be absolutely grateful for that. And I'd like to take this time to thank all of you that have bid on these auction items. We cannot thank you enough for your support. I'd also like to take this time to thank our in-kind donors. Anyone that has given something for this auction item, any company that has given something, we are so appreciative, and we quite literally would not have an auction without you, so thank you.
Absolutely true. And as we near the end of our event here, folks, we'd like to once again thank our presenting sponsor, Citi, for their longtime partnership with the Wyakin Foundation, as well as our platinum sponsor, the Boeing Company, for their continued support. And folks, I want to remind everybody that the auction will be open until Saturday, October 3rd at 9 p.m. That means you've got about 48 more hours, 49 more hours to bid on items. If something caught your eye and you didn't get a chance to bid, or if some rascal out there keeps outbidding you, folks, you got 2 more days. So please keep bidding, please keep donating. This auction and this event is really critical to our success for this year. So we are at 57%, almost 58% of our goal right now, folks, of $100,000 for this event. So if you want to be part of that last 42%, please keep bidding, keep donating. I'd like to thank a few other people before we close tonight. First of all, I'd like to thank the entire Wyakin staff and all of our volunteers for all the hard work in this challenging year. And in particular, I would like to thank my good friend and talented co-host, Jenna. You know, Jenna, I'm a complete hack, and without you, this would have been absolutely miserable, but you made the evening for me, so thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Brent.
You're welcome. And you know, folks, it looks like all the magic happens out here in front of the camera, and of course, you know, Jenna and I are very polished, and this all went off without a hitch. And we get all the fame and admiration, but you know, there's a lot that goes on behind the camera, and so I want to say a special thank you to the executive producer of tonight's event, our own Sharon Rotax. So Sharon, why don't you come on down and join us on the couch here and say a few words.
Thank you guys. I had no idea I would be coming up here.
That's a
What
big surprise, huh? Well, welcome.
Thank you for those kind words,
You
Brent.
bet. Well, Sharon, why don't you wrap this thing up for us?
I'll do my best. So we're going to hear from our warriors, Josh and Mike, again for a little closing video. But before that, I just want to extend a very heartfelt thank you to all of you at home watching tonight. You know, we have folks across the nation. We have friends and family in Vermont, Audrey and Melanie Rotax watching tonight. We have friends, family supporters in Oklahoma, in Florida, in Washington, you know, all across the nation. And we are truly so very grateful for your support and also for your belief in Wyakin and what we do here. So with that, folks, from our family to yours, good night.
Stay classy.
Good night.
Hello, this is Mike and Josh, and we would like to thank you for joining us this evening.
We hope that you enjoyed the opportunity to learn more about the Wyakin Foundation and to hear some of our fellow warrior stories and how Wyakin is helping them in their lives today.
We would like to remind you that our auction will remain open until October 3rd at 9 p.m. So go ahead and check out some of those great items.
Your support means so much to us, and the Wyakin Foundation isn't able to help us in the capacity that it currently is without your support. So we just wanted to say thank you very much for being here, and we appreciate you.
Have a good night, and thank you.
Thank you.
Woo! Nicely done.